What's up, y'all? Last week I finished up Carl's Doomsday Scenario, Book 2 of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman, and these are my thoughts. Not gonna lie, guys, I did not like this one as much as the first one. This one's shorter, and honestly, if I'm being clear with you guys, this felt more like a side quest than an actual sequel to the first one. As you guys know, I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was absolutely hysterical. I loved everything about it. You know, the characters, the plot, the just action and lit RPG elements. All of it were just wonderful to kind of read and listen to. And there is still a lot in this second book that I really enjoy. I still love Carl and Donut and their just relationship with one another. I love the expanding world and the world building that's occurring here because Matt Dinniman, he's got something cooking in the background that I have yet to fully comprehend. There is just something going on here that I don't know all the answers to, but I know that there's so much more that's not being said. There's so many more secrets. There's so much more going on than the greater universe of the Dungeon Crawler Carl universe. And I really like the world building, and I like the lore, and I like the leveling up, and I like the lit RPG elements, and I think this one's just as funny, if not even more funny than the first one. So when I say I didn't like it as much as the first one, don't misconstrue me and say, oh, you know, it's just, there's nothing good going for it, but there's just something missing here, guys. You know, the first one had a lot of heart, and I felt like the plot was just moving forward at a really good pace. And in the second one, it just did not feel like that. This one felt more like Matt, as the author, took a step back and he wanted to just do kind of like a zany side quest and kind of build up some more side elements of what's going on in this series than focus on moving the plot forward. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, and I think other people will probably find this one better than the first one, but for me, I really wanted to see the plot move forward. I really wanted to see, you know, them hit third, fourth, maybe fifth floor, and kind of things just keep going and keep escalating. And this does not escalate. This is very much like you're introduced to the quest system within Dungeon Crawler Carl universe, and because of that, you know, it takes some time to show you what a quest is like and what impact it has on the game itself and the TV show itself. And I was not the biggest fan of that. I kind of wanted more from the plot than what is offered here. And I'm trying to be really vague with the spoilers, but like, there's something missing in this book when it comes to a plot that I really enjoyed in the first one that just wasn't present here. There were some great character moments. There were some great moments from Carl. We got some great moments from Donut. We kind of see her grow as a character. The humor is fantastic. We're introduced to more races and more of the world and more of the lore. But yeah, the plot was really lacking in this one. And I don't know, it just didn't hit quite as well as I wanted it to. It's still a good book, but it's just not quite as good as that first one. And I think the biggest problem is, obviously, as I keep kind of harping on, is the plot. It was a total side quest. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in a series like this, but I kind of wish a side quest would happen later in the story than like the immediate follow-up to book 1. You know, if it had been book 3, book 4, I'd be like, okay, yeah, like this is just a fun little romp. This is to take a breath from everything that's happened. But it happened kind of a little too early for me. Yeah. But everything else is good. I just thought the plot was really weak, but the world building and the characters, you know, they're great. And this is such a short book. I think it's less than 10 hours. I got through it in like 2-3 days, and it was really entertaining the whole way through. You know, I don't want to be mistaken and be like, oh, I wasn't entertained. I absolutely was. I don't think if you like the first book, you're probably gonna love this series. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. But book two was kind of a step down in the quality that I was expecting. You know, I definitely expected for this to be higher on my list when it comes to this series than lower, and it just didn't turn out that way. So I think moving forward, I'm gonna kind of maybe lower my expectations, just so when Matt Dinniman does do better, I can be like, yes, like, yeah, like that's what I've been looking forward to, and that's kind of what I've been looking for in this series. But yeah, I think for now I'm gonna re-lower my expectations of each book is gonna be better than the last. And, you know, maybe it's a mixed pot. Maybe it's more like, you know, a longer series where it's like, oh, you know, the second one might be better, but the third one might be worse, you know, that kind of stuff. But overall, I'd give Carl's Doomsday Scenario 8.2 out of 10. It's probably my lowest rated book I've read so far this year. But you know what? It was still a really good time, and I highly recommend it. If you like the first one, you're going to like the second one. Maybe a little less, but you're still going to like it. And I hear the third one's really, really good, so I'm looking forward to that. But that's all for now.